Oh boy, it is good to be back, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to kick this off here in just a minute. That's good. I like that. Step 1, buy an FTX1. I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Good evening to everyone. And it is really good to be back in the shack, back in Texas. And you know what? It's been raining since we've been back, so I haven't really been hot. But we spent the last week in Colorado touring the entire state and hitting all of the national parks in Colorado. And I recorded, I'm going to take Frank out of my ears. and I recorded a video about that whole trip that will go live on my Unplugged channel because it's about travel. My wife and I both activated all 4 national parks for POTA. So it was fun. And then we also both activated, we also went down to Four Corners and activated that. So it was a good trip. More to come on that later. But thanks for joining us tonight. So, all right, tonight we're going to talk about the FTX1, brand new firmware updates, some new hardware, some new this, some new that. But first, Amazon Prime Day is starting Tuesday. And I've already got here's my link to my Amazon idea list for Prime Day. I appreciate you guys using that. It is an affiliate link, and I get commissions for some items that you buy on Amazon through that. We're going to go live on Tuesday, the first day. I've done this the last 3 or 4 years on Prime Day and Prime Big Deals Day and Prime Summer Deals Day and whatever else they're coming up with. And they're doing it for 4 freaking days this time. So usually it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe Wednesday, Thursday. Today, this year, this summer, it is Tuesday through Friday. And I suspect we're going to see a lot of change. Like if you go look at the deals on Tuesday, I don't think they'll probably be the same deals again on Thursday or Friday. Maybe they'll last a day. Maybe they'll last until they're sold out, and they'll kind of rotate through. They've done that before. So, yeah. So you're going to want to check the list each day. I will be live streaming more than one day, but I haven't decided when yet exactly. Definitely going live on Tuesday. So you guys keep watching on that. Sign up for email alerts. Do sign up on the text message, something like that. And you guys can keep up with that. So Prime Day is starting Tuesday. That's where we are right there. And immediately following this live stream, we are going to do another live stream on the Unplugged channel. For the next RV Base Camp chat, we're going to be talking about where to get water when you're on the road. So this is a topic that Kyle came up with. It's a good topic, in my opinion, because you always have to figure that out, whether you want to fill up the water tank and drive to your destination with that extra weight in your RV, or whether you want to empty the water tank, drive to where you need to go, and fill it up a few miles before you get there. But we'll see. So you guys join us for that. We'll roll over to that, and I'll share that again at the end of this live stream. And something else we're going to talk about the Texas flooding going on in the Hill Country area. In fact, I got a couple of questions for Frank about that. So anyone who knows anything about the Texas flooding or relief efforts for the Texas flooding, I'm going to ask that question here in a moment. Okay, but if those of you who didn't see my shopping video, this is the new separation cable. And Josh mentioned this on his live stream last night, and I mentioned it on my Friday shopping video. Yaesu has released, well, they're about to, they've announced, these will be ready mid-August, so I'm told. Okay, there's a 5-foot and a 10-foot extension cable for this radio, specifically for, we were told this was not a separatable kit. It is. I don't know the story behind it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were planning this the whole time or if they just listened to the audience and said, well, crap, we need to build some cables. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. But here's the thing. Until about July 14th, I think it is, Gigaparts is offering a 10% coupon off of these cables. They're kind of pricey. You can build your own. You can do that. Totally cool. But if you want a 10% discount off of either one of these cables, use the code of 66HR2. 66 is it's for SCU66 is the Yaesu model number. So there's a SCU66 5-foot and an SCU66L 10-foot. But you can use the coupon code of 66HR2 at Gigaparts to get a 10% discount off of either one of these cables and save some money that way. So there you go. So, $11, $12, $13 off of that price. Yeah, they're a little bit pricey. I agree, but we were crying. A lot of us were crying that it was not a separatable radio originally, and I understood that point. Well, now it is. So pick your battles. Take what it's worth, and go from there. So that's where we're going to go now. Let me unmute Frank and cover my ears. What's up, dude?
Hey man, what's going on?
It is going. I got the air conditioner going. It's hot.
It's good to be back on this stream.
Yes,
yeah!
agreed.
I kind of didn't know if you were going to be home or not, so that's why I texted you this morning.
Yeah,
but it's actually I took last week off because it was the 5th Friday. I was not supposed to stream anyways. But I was like,
gotcha.
You're not streaming. No. I'm going to go and spend some time hanging out. So I spent some time with some friends and family. That's always nice. And howdy, y'all. We got the tanker going on in the chat, Tanker 45. Yeah, y'all are amazing, Tom. Other than that, man, I had the radio out on my deck for a lot of this week when I could. Jeez, man, the rain.
Yeah, well, okay, so we were, it rained off and on in Colorado, but dude, it was so freaking nice. The last 3 days we were there, it was clear and sunny with white clouds in the blue sky, and had we been in Texas with skies like that, it would have been 95 degrees, but it was like 80 degrees in Colorado, so I'm not complaining about the weather at all. Much less humid, a little bit warm, 80, low to mid 80s, something like that. It was nice. It was really nice weather in Colorado the whole time, except for the few times it did rain, but the rain was short-lived. We didn't get rained out of anything we were going to do, so it was good.
Field day was beautiful.
Yes. Good.
It was a little warm, but since we had that cabin, man, you would have loved this cabin. Did you see my video on it?
I did not. No,
we don't watch each other's videos anymore.
I saw it. It came across my feed. I think maybe Emily watched it.
Oh,
it came across, but she subscribes to you and Mike and a few others. But it came across my feed, and I do want to watch it because I want to see what I missed on field day. I did some field day logging and used the Polo app for field day, mostly for field day and activation, because there's no cell service in national parks for the most part, so an online logger was not working, so we used the Polo app. I promised Sebastian I would use the Polo app on that trip, and I did. I used it like 3 or 4 times. So,
and overall, what was your feel for it?
I like it. I like the World Radio League app better. Not because of anything Polo is doing wrong, but just because of a few extra features that it's missing, but I know that he's working on. So in other words, World Radio League is just a little bit ahead in the race than Polo, in my opinion. In my opinion, you guys can disagree with me. It's okay.
Disagree.
But I'm actually working on a video that kind of compares the two.
Okay.
And long story short, both of them are great, and you're not going to be disappointed with either one. There's just different features that each one does. And I'm going to say that in the video. I was like, if you like this one, use this one. If you like the other one, use the other one. Doesn't matter. I mean, they're both great apps.
So I am Polo now on the phone. I think it's a little easier.
Yeah,
it was a little clunky in the beginning. There was a learning curve to it. Unlike Hammers, you opened up Hammers, everything was immediate, everything was apparent, and it was really easy to see.
Right.
However, once I got used to Polo was so much faster, so much streamlined. Now the computer, hands down, Hammers Pro. I was even using it on my activation for Cooper Lake State Park, and I used that. I did like 400 contacts before field day.
I was getting ham alerts about you working FTA.
yeah.
FTA I was totally getting ham alerts about that. So,
everything, man.
Yep. So, but yeah,
you should check out that video.
I will.
It was
I will.
fun.
I'll watch it. I may watch it tonight.
We had a blast.
Good.
And you were missed. Robert was missed. Mike was missed. So,
I think Mike did a video with his buddies in Michigan. He went up to Michigan, I think. So, and I saw that come across my feed, but I haven't watched it.
Both of y'all scheduled trips. Shame on y'all scheduling trips for field day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I know. After it was scheduled, I don't blame you, but come on.
Yeah. Oh well. All right. So today we're going to update the firmware on this radio here. Okay. Now I know a lot of people are. This radio has been a hot topic. There's a lot of people that have issues with the radio. There's a lot of people that like the radio. I've heard good and bad points about the radio. I like it.
Did you use it the whole time?
I didn't. I did not take it.
Oh.
I did not take it. I took my FTDX10. Okay. Now, about half the time we activated from the truck, like Great Sand Dunes and which other one? I think Black Canyon and the Gunnison. We had and Four Corners. We couldn't really. There weren't really picnic areas. I think Black Canyon and the Gunnison, we were just pressed for time. Great Sand Dunes, there wasn't really a picnic area, so we activated from the truck. And I have determined that my TS480HX I have in the truck, I don't like it. And what I mean by that is it's not great on the receiver. If you use the TX480 and then you go to another park and sit down and break out the FTDX10, night and day difference. The FTDX10 has so much better filtering and such a much better receiver. It's not, and leave aside the fact that it has a big screen with a waterfall. I don't even care about that for the purpose of this argument. It's a much newer radio than the Kenwood, and it's much easier to activate POTA. I worked Dave KB5UTY. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight. He texted me on one of them. He's like, dude, I guess you can't hear me because I can hear you guys. You're down in the noise, but I can hear you. And he was trying to get back to me. I couldn't hear him at all. And then the next day, he blew my speaker out of my Yaesu when we were sitting in Rocky Mountain. He's like, hello, Bravo 5, Uniform Tango. And I'm like, dude, you're like blowing my speaker. You're 10 over 5.9. And he's like, dude, you're 20 over 5.9 coming back to Texas. He's like, the band's better today. But I was like, well, I got a better radio also. So it was, I don't know. But anyway, so guess what? Separation cables now. I think I'm gonna put this in the truck. So I think I'm going to put this in the truck. Go ahead.
Do you think they did that on purpose, or did they react to everybody saying, why don't we have a separation cable? Because
I don't know.
I think genuine. They saw that, and I think this was a reaction. I don't think this was in the pipe, and they're trying to trick people. I think this was a reaction because so many people said, we need one, we need one, we need one, we need one.
I don't think there was anything nefarious about it. No, I don't think that was, I don't think that.
Mm-hmm.
Was it planned originally? I don't know. Was it something that they responded to the audience about? I certainly would like to think so.
I think this was total response.
I don't know. I did invite, and I didn't think he would show up. I did invite John to this live stream. I know that he was real busy. I was trying to get him on last month. He was real busy last month. I haven't really talked to him this month. I sent him a link to the live stream. I was like, join us on Zoom if you want to. We're going to talk about this radio either way, but if you want to, I didn't get a reply from him, so I don't expect to see him tonight. But I would love to pick his brain about that and see what he says about it. I don't really know. I don't think there was anything like, oh, just let's lie to everybody and then
this is coming down the pipe,
releases.
Don't
I don't think it was that. At least I would like to think it's not that. I really don't think it was that.
I really think it was a reaction to the audience. They did not predict the amount of people that wanted that.
I think you're right.
Table.
I think you're right.
Damn,
Josh, Ham Radio Crash Course, 20 gift memberships. Thanks, buddy. I guess he's returning the favor. I've given him 5, 2 or 3 times, something like that. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being here. But
thank you, other Jason.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But welcome to the gift memberships, guys. Thanks for that, Josh. So no, I don't think there was anything nefarious about it at all. But so here's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to update now, I already made a video about updating the firmware to the first 2 things. Number 1, people were like, "Oh, wow, the radio's like 3 weeks old. They've already got a firmware update." That is not unusual. That's not unusual at all. Okay, that is
Yaesu.
That, well, perhaps true, but even for Zygu, like Zygu had like 3 updates in the first month because that 6100 and 6200 was full of features that didn't work. But I mean,
I give you that hands down.
It's not unusual for a radio manufacturer to release new firmware updates for a new radio early on. Okay, it's happened before. It's going to happen again. Get over it. If you don't want to buy a new radio because of that, if you want to wait a year to buy a radio, okay, cool, good. Do that. Your decision. So they came out with a firmware update, and I did a video saying, here's how you update the firmware. And this was more of a steps thing to just like step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's how you do it. So all of those steps will apply to what we're doing tonight. But the newest revision of the firmware update, let's see. Yeah, right here. So this is where we are tonight. This is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to update to firmware. It's dated June of 2025, and this manual, this update information PDF document is actually June 27th of 2025. So less than 2 weeks ago, like 9-10 days ago, something like that. Okay, so I've already downloaded the firmware. We're gonna go through it here in a minute, but here is this. This was great because the first ones in the update notes, it said fixed operation features. It was very vague. It didn't really tell what the first one did. But this one's good. It lays out details of what is in this firmware. Added APRS message function. Now, anyone who saw Jason KM4ACK's video knows that there was no way to send a message or reply to message on APRS.
Oops.
Originally. He made a video. He put it up there. Yaesu responded to it and said, yep, you're right. We're going to have to fix that. And they owned it, and kudos to Yaesu for doing that. And now it looks like they fixed it. Okay, they added support for the ATOS 120A. Displays the selected HF antenna connector number at the top of the screen. I didn't notice that at first, but that's cool. Okay, because as I said in one of my first videos, the Optima has 2 antenna ports on it, which for a radio in this price range is a little bit unusual. It's not unheard of, but it's a little bit unusual. Because my FTDX10 doesn't even have 2 antenna ports. Improved APRS beacon reception sensitivity. That was another thing that KM4ACK Jason talked about. Fixed issue with GPS coordinates not being displayed properly. Improved the noise blanker characteristics. Fixed issues with the VOL volume not being adjustable while in CW message or voice memory screen is displayed. Hadn't experienced that one myself. Fixed issue with sub-side receiving sound being output during split operation. Fixed issue with setting menu not being backed up to SD card properly, and other minor fixes. So this is a good list of updates to firmware for this radio. So that's what we're going to look at today. And on top of that, I have, let's see, I'm going to switch back over here real quick. I have a Bluetooth module and a GPS module I picked up at Gigaparts when I was there a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
So we're going to put those in tonight. I also have, and I don't have my Optima out here. It's inside. But I got the carry handle for the Optima as well. Kind of lame that the Optima doesn't come with this, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, to each his own. That's what it is. Let's move on. So we're going to do this firmware update real quick, which is not going to be hard. It wasn't hard the first time. It's not going to be hard this time, okay? So what we want to do is we want to look and see what the current version is, okay? So we're going to turn this back on. Okay, so it says hold down the function knob. In other words, go into the menu. Come on. There we go. Slide over to menu 3 right there. And go to extension setting, and then scroll down to software version. Okay, and now here, I know you guys can't see that. I'm showing you the screen right now. So here's what we're on right now. Okay, the display is on 01-02. The main is on 01-04. DSP is on 0101. There wasn't an update to that one in the last firmware. SDR is on 0103, and DST is USA. Okay, whatever that means. So we're going to go back over here, and we're going to kind of follow this. This is really easy. Okay, so you download the zip file from Yaesu.com. You find the page for the FTX1. You go to Files, and you can go to Updates, and you can see this right here. And you can download certain things here. And then you go to Files, and you download the FTX1 USA Firmware Update 2025-06, the second to the last file right here. And that's the firmware we're going to update today. And then it opens up, and it includes 5 different firmware files plus this PDF file that I'm showing you right now, which is the manual, English manual for update instructions. So all of that. So 6 different files. This PDF plus 5 different .sfl files is the file extension. And those are your firmware update versions and whatnot. Okay. So we're going to take this, or no, not this one. This one here is what I'm, yeah. So we downloaded the firmware. We unzipped it. I've got it sitting here on my desktop. You guys can't see that right now. Copy the file directly under the FTX1 folder. So in other words, underneath the root, not the root of the SD card, but in the same directory as the root of the SD card, and that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm doing this off camera, but basically all you want to do is
it's pretty simple. It's only one folder deep.
Correct. Yeah. It's not even that. It's actually in the same. This FTX1 is in the root directory, so it's actually going in the root directory of the SD card. So it's not even one folder deep, really. So copy the firmware to this location. Yep. Okay, so I did that real quick. Okay, so turn the transceiver off. And let's turn the transceiver off. Remove the battery. Oh, remove the battery. Connect to an external power source. Oh, crap, I didn't bring my cable with me.
Wait, you have to be an external power source?
Yeah, I do remember that from last time. I kind of forgot about that.
Is that because where the SD card is, or...
I don't know. No, because the SD card's on the side over here. So I'm not sure why they say to do that.
Oh, or it could be safety.
I think it's more safety than anything. I think it's more, hey, we don't want your radio dying during the update, and maybe it pulls too much voltage when it's doing an update, something like that. I don't know. But
yeah, I think if I programmed it, it would be safety. So
if you programmed it,
hey, I do a lot of good customer facing software.
I just laughed. It was a funny statement. Don't. Hold on.
And,
I got my. Let me find my power cable here. Just give me 1 second.
Welcome to the Tank Radio screen. Head over to Tank Radio. Subscribe now. Where are my notes? Here we are. Oh, those are good notes. But yeah, man, if y'all haven't catched the field day video, our field day was awesome and we had a lot of fun. And just treading water here. Coming up tomorrow on my video, we're going to be talking about uploading your ARRL logs. We are uploading the logs that
I think it's inside, Frank, so I'm going to have to go inside and get it.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
We are uploading logs.
It's your show. It's your show, Frank.
I am. I'm talking about my show, Tank Radio. I already dropped my link. Uploading logs to the ARRL for your field day. We're exporting them at N3FJP, and that is what I did. I tried so hard to tail that into exporting those logs from N3FJP, uploading them to the ARRL, then appending them to your POTA logs, because you probably did POTA pre or post field day, and then doing that one upload to POTA, but that crashed and burned so hard. That's going to be something else that if you watch my video, I'm hitting at something I might be doing. Matthew says, question for Frank. Question Tank. I have not uploaded my radio yet. Updated. Can I go straight to this update or go through the older one first? I think how they did it, Matthew, you should be safe enough to go straight to this update. Unless they really do note in their README, and we'll ask Jason to pull up the README again, I say you should be fine to just to go ahead and upload it directly. We'll circle back to that, Matt. Let's talk about cigars, Don says. Man, I've been just enjoying a tat cigar, the Tahawini. I can't say that line. We just call them tats at my store because they laugh at me too much when I try to say it. And here, I am going to show y'all a hint. I was meant to do that, but then I got distracted.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's all right.
It was a noob cake mistake. I knew that it needed that, and I totally forgot because I've done this already. But I haven't done it with this version, but I've done a firmware update already.
I'm hinting on that what I've been typing on in the background. I'm working and I'm coding on something ham radio related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, watch my video. I'll talk about it.
Okay. When you want people to actually know about it, we can bring you back onto the live stream.
Love it. I love it.
I'm just messing with you, Frank.
No cigar today because I'm inside and I didn't feel like setting up. And Don knows, Don from the clubhouse, my camera was not acting right with the sun behind me, so that's why I'm not on my porch.
That did look a little weird.
Well,
so
I was trying to tweak the camera settings before then, and I put it in manual mode, trying to get the light right, and I did at the beginning. I was trying not to get blown out, and I thought that there was enough cloud cover to diffuse the sun and be fine, and I kind of tweaked it for a while, and it worked great, but then I forgot it was on manual mode, so when the sun went down, the ISO wasn't high enough.
Oh, yeah.
So when I went back there and switched it to auto, it was like, woo, we're good.
Yep. Okay, so we turn the transceiver off. I've got this little micro SD card here. I think it goes in this way, doesn't it? Yeah. I did it correctly the first time. Oh my God. Okay.
So now that's going.
So updating the field head only. Okay, so there's an update to the Optima as well. I'm not going to do that right now. That one's inside.
You said this was the second update. There was a question related to how to do the updates, and I
have a whole video on that.
Well, not how to do them, but the order. Did this say at the top of the release saying you had to do the previous update first, or you should be able just to jump from the factory that it came onto this one?
Let me read that. That's a very good question. Important notes. All responsibility. Transceiver says resetting.
If it's anywhere, it should.
There's not. It doesn't. It doesn't say one way or the other.
Okay, so
it does not say one way or the other. I think it's always safer to go step by step.
If they don't call it out, I think you'd be fine going.
I agree. In theory, that should be right. In theory, that should be right. But you're not going to, you might or might not harm it going straight to the newest one. You absolutely will not harm it going step by step in series. And it doesn't take very long at all. It doesn't take very long to update this firmware. So I would go step by step, but you guys do whatever you want to. I mean, it's up to you. Okay. Remove the battery, then connect to an external power source. Okay, we're good there. Insert the micro SD card with the written firmware in the micro SD card. Okay, good. Pressing QMB, VM, and MV, which are these 3 buttons here on the top. Hit the power button, and the firmware update screen appears. So we're going to press, let's see. Yep, memory, VM, and QMB, these 3 right here. And we're going to power it on.
Boo-doo-doo.
Okay, and now it says insert latest version firmware SD card, touch the screen to continue. Okay. But in the and then it said this last time too. Do not touch the screen. Proceed to next step. So the radio is telling you to touch the screen, and then the firmware update says do not do that. Okay. All right.
Do not touch the screen after the firmware has started updating?
No. So when you first boot it up, you see this. Okay. It says insert latest version firmware SD card. That's already in the radio. Yep. Touch screen to continue.
Oh wait, so did you have to do like a claw to get that prompt?
I did. I pressed these 3 buttons at the same time and powered it on. That's where we are now.
Okay, so it's
but the instructions correct. But the instructions clearly say do not touch the screen. Turn the function knob clockwise 5 clicks or more, and the Yaesu bootloader screen appears. So that's what we're going to do right here. We're going to turn this function knob. There we go. Yaesu bootloader. And there we are. So the top one is display. Ready. The second one is main, which is not checked, and then the DSP and SDR say no such file. Okay, and the instructions say make sure I got the right screen. Make sure the display shows a check mark. Do not mark anything other than display. This is what we did the first time. Okay, so the display is marked, and it wants me to click update. The update progress indicator is displayed. The firmware transfer begins. Wait until the progress is finished. So we're going to hit right there. This one's check marked. I'm going to hit update. Do not turn off power. You can see the indicator right there at the top. Don't touch the freaking screen. Touch the touch screen. Right there it's going.
I was waiting for you to touch it with something, then I'm breaking it. I was like,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's not taking too long. Okay. When the update is complete, the power is automatically turned off. Unplug the DC cord, then reconnect the DC cord. Okay, so it rebooted itself. Power is automatically turned on. Proceed to step 12. Okay, so I'm going to unplug it. It tells me that the power is turned off, and it says to unplug it and replug it, so that's what I'm going to do, even though it came back on by itself. Okay, they're right there. Turn power on. Okay, we're going to go here. So if the current main firmware version is different than 0100, start from step 11. Turn the transceiver on, press and hold the function. We'll go back there. Go to extension settings and go to software version. And you can clearly see right here the software version. Touch SD card, then okay. So it says if the main firmware version is different than 0100, main firmware, and it's different than 0100. It's 0104. Start from step 11. So step 11 here says to go right there. Go to extension setting, touch SD card. Touch SD card. Okay. And then click on firmware update, and it says done. And then it'll bring you this screen, and everything should be checkbox. Indicates firmware to be updated. If there's no such file, there's no target. Touch update to get, and it lets you do them all at the same time. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look. So we're on the SD card screen here. We're going to touch. Oops, no. That. Shoot. Back. Okay, come on. My fault. Okay. Go to firmware update and click on done. Firmware update. That is what it said, right? Firmware update.
I don't have these instructions up.
Okay, there it goes. File checking. Okay, and it says whatever is a list of firmware stored on the SD card is displayed. And it says you can check everything that's available. You can see that the DSP and SDR are not available on this update, but this one is. The display and the main are both available. It says to click on update. Update OK. Do not turn off power. The update process is indicated. Okay. Progress indicator is displayed when the firmware transfer begins. Wait until when the update is complete, the power is automatically turned off and then turned on again. Now, it told me that last time. It told me it would turn on again by itself, but it did not. Mm-hmm. And then once this is done, we have to reset the transceiver, which is going to wipe out all of your memory channels, which I don't have any of those right now.
There was no way to back them up on the SD card?
You know what? I think there probably is, but I didn't look at that because those instructions are not in the firmware updates. Maybe they should add that, but I didn't have anything saved in memory anyway, so I didn't care. I didn't even look at that.
Some people care. They do a lot on those radios.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, but I don't care because I didn't have anything. I had one channel saved before I did the first firmware update, and it wiped it out when I did the firmware update after I did the reset. Mm-hmm. So I haven't put any channels in. In fact, I don't even think I've used the thing since then. So, Don, remember, the firmware update was not written in C++, so it's safe to run. That's between you and Don. All right, so that's still going there. All right, Frank, here's something I was going to ask you, and we kind of rolled into this quickly. Have you heard from Texar at all about the Central Texas thing?
I have not yet because I am technically still disabled on their list, so I haven't got a lot of their stuff. They probably are. If they're requesting help, is a good. The Texar is a Texas Research and Rescue Group, and they do deploy around Texas for search and rescues. They have boats. This will be great because for them, because they are active in boat rescue. They have swift water rescue, and also a lot of ham radios. Well, also a lot of radio stuff on the commercial bands, but ham radio just for me tied in it very well.
So I spoke to Josh Johnston, who is the ARRL emergency coordinator, MCOM coordinator. I think I'm butchering his title, but he's basically in charge of MCOM stuff for the ARRL. I spoke to him at Hamcation in February of this year, and I was like, dude, I want to get you on the channel because of all the flooding issues the hurricane issue that happened in North Carolina last year. We brought on those guys who were in the area, including Thomas, K4SWO, and that other gentleman whose name escapes me right now. But I talked to Josh about that at Hamcation. I said, I want to get you on the channel. I want to learn about what we can do to get the word out when radio operators are needed post disasters like this. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's get together after Hamcation. And then we just never did, which is my fault. I should have followed up with him and I didn't.
See, the hard thing is, and because I've done a little bit of Red Cross training, I have done all the EOC trainings and Emergency Operations Center, how they work, and been helped out with the EOC in Tarrant County, the EOC in Hearst. I'm just padding my credentials here, and Texar. The first thing they tell you about any of these things is never, ever, ever self-deploy. Do not go out there and be like, I'm here as a ham radio operator and I want to do X. You know what they're going to tell you? To go home. Get out of there. They don't want you. They don't want to hear about you. You're not credentialed. And So the best thing is to get in touch with an organization that does something like that. So, because they're 9 times out of 10 going to go to these organizations, and Red Cross has radio satellites and
Yes.
other things that you deploy with, and ham radios go hand in hand with a lot of those operations. And yes, we could use ham bands and everything as part of emergency communications, because if it's emergency, a lot of our rules go out the window. There's also in Texas and some other states AUXCOM, auxiliary
Yes.
communications.
Yes.
I had that certification
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
10 years ago and never really done anything with it because
Yeah.
at the state of Texas dropped it for a while. They did bring it back, but I didn't go back and do all the classes. And that's kind of like an amateur radio operator can fold into the LCOM or LCOM, and there's another one, and go in
Yes.
and help out stand up some communication to repeaters and things, and just kind of more of a grunt on the ground. They're not doing the emergency band plans and all the other things that go along with it. But they're just kind of like a technician out there to kind of hand out radios and make sure things are working, and that fold easily into the EOC's operation plans. I'm forgetting what the actual names is because it's been a while. But yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Yes.
Other than
I
that,
agree. I agree. I think that it's important to I would like to know if there are any organizations that are, because I haven't gotten any word from anybody about anything going on, and I know it's probably just because I haven't signed up on the right list somewhere, and I would like to learn more, and this could be a topic for a future video. I would like to learn more about how to get notified when these types of deployments are needed. ARRL is one source, Texar is one source, and there's multiple other sources out there. But
I reach out to Red Cross. Red Cross would be my stop.
Well, you know what, and I did Red Cross for a while, and Roger KD5UJL, he was in charge of our Red Cross chapter here, and I'm good friends with him, and he was in that for a while. But okay, so what it says after all that, it says reset the next step is reset the transceiver. See page 9. And then it goes through this other thing about this opt option to update again, which I don't have that. I just looked and I don't have that. So, but it says to reset the transceiver first. So let's reset the transceiver. See page 9. Turn off the transceiver while pressing back and find fast the keys simultaneously. Turn the transceiver on. The frequency displays 144 on the subband and 7 megahertz on the main band. So transceiver's off right there. We're going to press these two buttons right here on the bottom. Power it on. And there you go. 144 and 7 megahertz. Okay, there. This completes the firmware update process. Okay. So now I'm going to go... I'm going to see if that option shows up, because right here it's telling me to do something else for this SD card firmware update, and then this OPT, this opt at the bottom of the list says check this one and do that and run that one. So I'm going to see if that's even an option in here. If it's not, I'm not going to worry about it. So there.
To answer some things I saw in the chat, it said operators just get on the repeaters and help out each other, and that is one of the great things. And something I just thought of, if there's a races group in your area,
right,
definitely, because the races are already folded into the city or county emergency communication plans, and they have plans on what to do, where to go, how to coordinate. There's already a structure there. But if CERT is another good one, they're not really amateur radio oriented, but there's radio aspects like Texar that you can help out with there.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not getting this opt option that it's mentioning right here. I don't see that option. I don't see that at all. And somebody, did you remove the bug killer? Did you remove the SD card? No, I did not. It's still in there. So, and it's seeing the same updates again. So I'm just not going to worry about this. I don't know why it's telling me to do that, because that is not showing up as an option in this update. So we're not gonna worry about that right now. But if we go back here, cancel, and I go to software version, nope. There we go. So now we're on display 0102. Main is 0104. DSP is 0101. That one didn't change. SDR is on 0103. And DST is on USA. So we'll go back here. And then... Well, that didn't work. Okay. Back. Band AB. Let's see. Which button is that? Okay, well. All right, I'm going to just change the band here to, I forget which, oh, there it is, to 144. Okay, and now I just want to go in to the APRS menu and see if it's changed. So I'm going to go here and APRS station list, which is, there's not anything in there, and message list. So now you can, okay, there's no messages in there. So there's not much you can do there. So I'm going to have to tinker around with the APRS and see about actually sending messages. So APRS setting beacon filter, APRS setting, APRS beacon, APRS filter. That was all there before. But we're going to have to tinker around with that. So supposedly that was updated. We'll see. We'll see how that works. What's up, Dave? I was just talking about you earlier, dude. KB5UTY Dave. So, but yeah, so that's that. Okay, so the next part is to, I'm going to install these things. This is the Bluetooth adapter. I want to do that one second. I'm going to do that one last. This is the, what?
So are these modules going into the radio in like an adapter slot, or are they just attached outside kind of stupidly?
Yeah. The Bluetooth goes inside the radio. The GPS dongle here, this guy goes on the outside.
So stupidly.
So, yeah. Something that can break off easily, something that can...
Doesn't even fit there with the buttons. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it does. It fits.
I thought it was...
So nothing came up on the... Nothing came up on the screen.
Is this a Pacific... GPS dongle?
This is the, I got this from Gigaparts. This is the Yaesu FTX1 GPS antenna unit.
Can we use any type of GPS unit, or
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay, that's what I'm here for.
That's a good question. So, it's possibly, I don't know, possibly not. But that's the one for that. So we don't have anything there. Okay, so I'm going to take that out for the moment. And, oops, there we go. And then I'm going to turn it up like this. Because the Bluetooth module, which I also got, goes right here inside of this. So in the Bluetooth module, we got... And it says that, so I look, there's paperwork that comes with the Bluetooth module, and it said, or no, that's the wrong one. Paperwork that comes with the Bluetooth module, it says, look in the manual to determine how to install it, which it's pretty easy to find in the manual. It's back here on page 78, and it says, remove this, let's see, make sure I got that in the screen there. Remove this cover here, which is this cover I just took off, this guy right here, and it says there's a double-sided tape that you apply, which comes with the Bluetooth module, the Bluetooth unit, and a separate cover. So all of that is in this package right here. Let's see, double-sided tape right there. Stuck to the inside. There it is. Okay. Double-sided tape right there. Bluetooth module right here, and then an extra cover. So this cover that comes off, you're not going to use that anymore.
Okay.
You're going to use this extended cover. It's a little bit deeper.
I like how they did that. That's sweet.
Yeah, kind of neat. I mean, the argument could be made that it should have had that. Too. Yeah. It should have. I'm going to turn the power off. It doesn't say. Oh, yeah, it does. Turn the transceiver off. I need to read. Turn the transceiver off. Remove the Bluetooth unit. Apply the double stick tape.
Battery.
Pull
the battery.
I could. Well, the battery's out. It's connected to external power right now.
But unplug it.
Yeah. So apply the double stick tape right there. Okay. It's just like a good. Okay. And then the Bluetooth module, which goes like it plugs in. It's odd. Seems like it would go this way, where this plug is on it. And then this guy right here. Right there. I don't know. That says to put that double-sided tape in a weird spot, but I guess that's right. It's all together. It's plugged in. So now, try this. All right. Let's see if the Bluetooth shows up as an option in the menu. Yeah. All right. It's hot in here, man. I'm sweating. Okay.
Welcome
I don't
back to Texas.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I don't have any idea where the let's see. Operation setting. Radio setting. No. Operation setting. Let's see. No. Guess I could look in the manual. Extension setting. Okay. Oh, that's where you can find out if the GPS is working or not.
Okay.
APRS setting. Okay, so let's look in the manual and see where the no magic smoke. Don says, it's. I guess I did something right. Okay. For additional details on Bluetooth functions, refer to the advanced manual, which may be downloaded from the. Okay, so there's not even anything in here about Bluetooth. You have to go to the advanced manual. Oh, the advanced manual. So I assume it's in there correctly, but I don't see anything in the menu of the radio that does anything with Bluetooth. You would think it'd be an option in here now. Operation setting, general. Okay. Nope. Come on. Oh, Bluetooth. Okay, so under operation setting, under option and Bluetooth done. I don't know what this does. Let's see if something blows up. Bluetooth is off. And I can... There we go. There it is right there. Ha! I found it without the manual.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, okay. So I had to turn it on. Yeah, Russell says, see if your phone can find it. I figured that you'd have to turn it on, though. So, So Bluetooth, I can turn it on. And I wouldn't be able to turn it on if the module would install. So there we go. All right. More to come on that later. I'm not going to go through the whole Bluetooth thing right now. But we have Bluetooth in this radio now. So I'm happy.
Come on.
I'm happy about that. So, let's see. I want to see if... I'm not sure I got all these.
All these what?
all these firmware updates, honestly, because it's where's the function now? Extension setting, SD card done. Turn the transceiver on, extension setting. I just want to SD card done, firmware update. Here we go. There we go, checking. Yep. That's all the ones that are there. Huh. Seems like there should be more than that. But I don't know. Let me see if I can find a what should the versions be after this update type thing. It doesn't really say right there because it says it has X's in the file names here. So main _ V XXXX, display, IF, DSP, SDR, and control. And all 5 of those files are on this card. And there's okay, here we go. So main 10104 and software version. Okay. Main is 0104, yep. FTX1 display is 0102, yep. DSP is 0102. Okay, so the DSP didn't update. IF DSP is 010. I don't have that one in here. And control is V111. Okay, so I don't know what that... Oh, you know what? That might be stuff for the Optima, because it did say that there was Optima updates also. So I may have to do the Optima update to get the rest of this stuff going. But the... Which one was it? The IF DSP... No. Yep, that one's correct. That one's correct. The IF DSP... There's 2 IF DSPs. So IF DSP and the SDR should be 010. It's 0103. But yeah, so I'm probably going to have to connect this to the Optima and perform the update again. Because it does mention about the Optima. It says right here, it says, let's see, that, download that. I remember reading about the Optima here. Right here. Updating the FTX1 Optima. Connect the field head to the external power source and then insert and then follow these steps again. So I'm going to have to do that. I'll do that. I don't have my Optima. It's inside right now. So I have to do that later. Opt will not install with the Optima being... Yes, Jeff. I thank you for the clarification. That's what I was assuming. OPT will not install without the Optima being connected. So that'll be... Okay, so I'll do that next time. Because it's the same steps that we already did. It's just I would connect this to the Optima and have more options there. That makes sense. That makes sense. So there you go. Back. Okay, but successful installation of the software for the head unit at least. And then I'll do the Optima. I might do it later tonight or I might do it tomorrow, something like that. But yeah, so the Bluetooth is installed. That's successful. And we've got... I'm going to put the GPS back in. Yeah, this GPS, this thing's going to freaking break, man. It's going to, somebody's going to break that off.
Yeah.
Somehow.
That was my thought.
Yeah, I know it. Having an internal GPS would be much more preferred.
Do you want to answer this versus that radio question?
Sure. Sure.
All right.
What question?
This is from formal Pluto. I like the name. Silly question he asked. But for someone looking into a new QRP radio, why would someone get the FT1X over the IC705?
You know, I think the answer to that will depend on the person. Because some people wouldn't. You know, if you're an ICOM guy, you're going to want the ICOM radio. If you're a... Here we go. If you're a... It's not picking up my position yet, but it might after a few minutes. So if you're an ICOM guy, you might want the ICOM. If you're a Yaesu guy, you might want the Yaesu. But the ICOM has D-Star and this has Fusion. That might be an option for you. The ICOM does not do APRS. This does, especially now. This does APRS now. If you want to do APRS, that kind of thing. The ICOM does not have a 100-watt amp that you can attach to it. Not specifically made for it anyway. Of course, you can attach any 100-watt amp you want to.
I was about to
But
circle back.
yeah, but it doesn't have a specific IC705 amplifier. Neither one of them have a built-in tuner. The 705 does have built-in Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and GPS, so that's a thing. I don't know. The answer to that is going to depend on you. What do you want? When the IC705 was brand new, it was the same price as this FTX1 radio, but again, it comes with Bluetooth, GPS, and Wi-Fi. So, but it does not do APRS like this one will. So, but I would reflash the SD card with the files. 4 files should have installed during the update on that config. That's a good one, Wayne. FTX1 Optima versus FTDX10. Which one? FTDX10.
It's what do you want? What do you want
yeah,
out of it?
same question.
The
Same
FTDX10
yeah.
is much heavier. This is a smaller form factor. It has newer processing. Does it have more filters?
But the Sherwood reports rates the 10 higher than this radio. So the receiver on the it does. Yeah, this one's actually pretty far down on the Sherwood reports for a Yaesu radio. So, yeah, if you don't care about VHF UHF all mode or Fusion or APRS, if you just want a really really kick-ass HF radio, get the FTDX10. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than this whole setup anyway. But this adds more features like everything I just named. VHF UHF all mode, do FT8, CW, single sideband on VHF, UHF. You can do Fusion. You can do APRS beaking, APRS messaging, all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah. All right, so let's let me format. I'm going to format the SD card, which I didn't do this today because I did last time. And when I took the card out of the radio, it was still in the radio. The card was still in the radio. Took the card out of the radio, put it in the computer, dragged the new files over to it, put it in there, and you guys watched me do everything after that. So, okay. So that's a good suggestion, whoever made that. Whoever said that a minute ago. There should be 4 files on there. Okay. So let's do it. Just for the heck of it, right? So I'm going to take this out. Oh, boy. There we go. Okay. Put this in here. Nope, not that one. Where'd it go? There it is. Pre-flash that. Okay, so that's a formatted card there. Okay. FTX1 folder. Copy. Okay. And now all of the files, there's 5 files, display, IFDSP, main, SDR, and control. And again, some of those are for the Optima. Okay. So I'm going to take that out. Put this back in here. I'm going to power this off. This back in here. And we're going to minimize that. All right. Yes. Okay. Pressing these 3. Power on. There's that. Turn this till it gets there. Remove SD card. Yaesu bootloader is no such file. Okay, hold on. Insert latest version. Okay. Remove SD card. Doesn't like that. All it says is remove. There's no such file on any of them, and it says remove SD card.
Interesting.
Yeah. Try that again. I don't know. This. It's on an external power source. We're good there. Insert latest version SD card. You can touch the screen. It says remove SD card. No. Didn't like that. I didn't have to gracefully remove this last time. Eject it from Windows. But maybe that's it. I don't know.
Normally, I don't have to.
No, you don't have to do that with modern Windows boxes. But let's see. So it pops up. Okay, all those files are still on there after it popped up. Let's eject it just for the heck of it.
But if that was the issue, it would have corrupted everything on it.
That's true. Yeah.
Just
you're
inserting
probably right.
it, re-injecting it.
You're probably right.
Just by putting it in there, checking the file folder structure, that would be all corrupt.
Yes. There we go. Beedaloop, beedaloop, beedaloop. Okay. Problem sandwiches. Yes, they are in the root, Ron. Good evening, Ron. How are you? HF digital modes via Bluetooth. I would hope so. Do the reset. I did the reset. I could do it again. Okay. Nope. Does not like that. Doesn't like that for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Let's reset it again for the heck of it. I mean, I reset it once already, but we'll reset it again. It's not going to lose anything. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. While turn transceiver off, we're pressing back and find fast. Turn the transceiver on. Frequency displayed. Boom. Okay. That should be the reset.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do this. Okay. I'm going to remove the power and put it back in for the heck of it. There's that. This. Turn that on. Nope, still doesn't like that. So for whatever reason, it doesn't. I already flashed it successfully once. It only updated the main and the display, nothing else. And for whatever reason, it doesn't want to read that file again. So perhaps I will get it. Try
to
get another card. I just did that. I just reformatted the card in the radio, took the card out, put it in the computer, drug the files over to it again, and
maybe it's seeing the same firmware is already on there, and it's not allowing you.
Well, it's possible. It's possible. It just said, yeah, maybe there's no updates to be had. It's certainly possible. Yep. And how do you? Where's the main button? I forgot there was a. Let's see. There it is. Okay. There we go. That's how you do it. Okay. Those buttons there. So I just want to get back to the 2 meter side. Okay. So we do a save to the SD card to create the file structure. Well, you don't have to. When you format it, it creates the file structure itself. And I know that because both times today and the last time I did that, you format it, you take it out of the radio, you put it in the computer, and when it pops up in Windows, it has an FTX1 folder in the root directory. So when it formats it, it creates the file structure itself. That's the reason you format. And it says in the instructions, the first thing it says is format a new SD card. Well, I already did that because this is my second time to update firmware. So I had a formatted SD card in there already that I successfully updated firmware with. So I just used that same SD card, dragged the files over to it. And you guys watched earlier, it did update. I don't think it updated everything, but it's possible that we just haven't updated everything because the Optima is not connected. Mm-hmm. So I will work on that. Don says, I had this problem. The files go in the FTX1 folder. Well, that's not what the instructions say.
I think they did say
that. No, they don't either. Look right here. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, Don, because there was a couple of things in the first firmware update that were not correct. Where'd it go? I lost it. Here it is. Okay. Right here. It says, well, actually, you know what? I'm reading that wrong. The folder configuration format. I am reading that wrong. It does say to put it in the FTX1 folder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess trust the Java guy, I guess. I don't know.
No,
okay.
C guy. And I thought I pointed that out earlier to you, but you're like, nope, right on root. I was like,
well, okay.
The first folder on there.
Yeah. And I'm really pretty sure that it was the root folder last time. Okay, so maybe I read that wrong. Maybe I did. Okay. All right, so let's get rid of these just for the heck of it. Yes. Bump. Okay. Let's put these here. Copy over there. Okay, there we go. Now they're in the FTX1 folder. Okay, maybe I read. Okay, so I read it wrong. Pretty sure it didn't say that last time, but maybe I don't remember. You know how much I've done, how many videos I've done since that last one. Ugh. Okay, so now let us. Okay, so we're still here, and let's nope. Let's do this. Power this on. Okay. Over there. Okay. Now we have, okay, so display says no such file. Now we have main DSP and STR. So it took the display update already. Display, yeah, because the display is supposed to be 104 according to these instructions here. According to this, the display is 104, and that's what we're at. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to say update. Do not turn off power. Okay. All right. Don says, Jason, I read it wrong also. Okay. All right. Good. Well, it's not just me then. You guys didn't know this was going to be an episode of Nuggets, did you? All right, so we're gonna wait for that. But yes, circling back to our no, I'm not on the battery, Tim's DMR. I'm on external power. Took the battery off a while ago. Let's see. What was I gonna say? Oh, circling back to the search and rescue conversation a little bit ago. If anyone has any information about the Texas flooding and ham radio operators volunteering and helping in some sort of organized capacity for that, please email me. You can put it in the chat, and I'm probably not going to see it. Email me, kc5hwe@gmail.com, because I'd like to know about that. So we're going to wait for this to finish, and then we're going to probably shut this down shortly, and we're going to move over to the other channel. Oh, okay. If I had money, I'd be down there helping. Yeah, well, see, and I was out of town all last week when it was first going on, and I was watching some chats that I'm involved in, and watching some people talk about situation down there. But I'm not going to just drive down there and show up. I want to be part of an organized effort or something. So I want to, if something like that exists for him, even if it's not for ham radio, I mean, like if they just need volunteers for whatever, doesn't have to be ham radio. I did get an email from Starlink that Elon Musk is turning Starlink on for people in the affected area and not charging for it. So if you have a Starlink dish in the affected area, you can use it without use it for free right now. So check with Vern 6. That's a good yeah, I don't know how close he is. He's a lot closer to it than I am. Link to other channel. I'll share that in a minute, Jeff.
I do see that Texar itself is actively being deployed down there.
Are they?
Yeah, and if you want to help sponsor them, they have a donation button at the bottom.
Yeah.
Then if you're looking to volunteer with them, there's that would be volunteer information, but they are a completely volunteer organization where you fund yourself going through and getting certifications and getting your gear, and it is a real search and rescue group.
Yeah. Is Greg still leading that for this chapter?
He's not leading it for the chapter anymore, but he's still a part of it.
Okay. Okay. The Cajun Navy is there, huh?
I'm not talking about them.
I don't know who that is.
They are a loosely assembled group that they say that they are a big group, and they really cause more chaos than they do help people. Don't get me wrong, but there's been a lot of chaos around them. But they are a group of self-deploying people.
Oh, well, okay. All right.
They're just the Cajun Navy is a loose term that people with boats go out there and be like, I'm with the Cajun Navy. No way of contacting each other. They use Zelle on the phone.
Zello?
Yeah, they use Zello.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're communicating via Zello, but when you go to a place that has no data, how's that going to work for you?
Well, everywhere has data. That's if you listen to anybody with that says that ham radio's obsolete, then that's what they tell you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Jody, that was kind of my point, my thinking. Video opportunity would be good to cover current weather alert radios, especially how SAME enabled radios. Yep. You could also check with your church. They may know of ways to help. Maybe that's true.
Again, yeah, just look for a radio organization that is already out there and established, and get with them. Texar is the big one in Texas. That does a lot of search and rescue. I know some churches do have a radio affiliation that will be able to deploy if requested. Last thing you want to do is just drive down there and say, I'm here.
Yeah, no. That's it's not what I was looking for.
I know that's not what you're looking for. I'm just reiterating it.
You're right.
You're
right. No, you're right. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're in the affected area, just get on a radio, and if you can help
Right.
figure out something,
Right.
get on the radio.
Yep.
Just don't go down there if you're safe, and put you in a position where you might need to be rescued, and or you do something stupid, then that is the issue.
Gotcha. Beetle Bailey, you've got the highlighted name in the chat, so I assume you have I have the same thing for my channel, so I assume you have a confirmed channel. I tried to look it up. I didn't really see it under your name, but I probably just missed it. I'm trying to do 3 things at once.
Welcome to my world.
The main is finished, the DSP is almost done, and the STR is wet. There you go. Okay,
so it's interesting. It allows you to reflash it. And I guess that is a feature you do want. Maybe it's a bad take or anything.
Yeah.
And it's good for them for allowing it, because I was wondering if they were just kicking it off and be like, nope, you got it.
Yep. Verified. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. I have the same thing. I've verified it. When I get on other people's channels, that shows up in the gray highlight also with the check mark. Verified channel, because why not? I like to be verified. I don't like to just show up at places like Frank does. Ha. Speaking of, are you gonna smoke this week, Frank?
I'm thinking Tuesday. There's a little complication I'll tell you in the back end, but I'm thinking Tuesday.
Okay. All right, so we're almost there. And I'm going to do a reset again after this update, because it tells you do these updates and then do a reset. I've already reset it twice, but who cares? It doesn't. I'm not Interstellar Starman. I am non-verified and want to keep it that way.
Me too.
I'm not sure if it's a good thing that YouTube verifies you or not, but it is a thing. It's a thing I did a couple years ago.
Am I verified? Test.
No, you're not. But you know what?
I sent in my ID and everything.
You may not show up that way because you're a mod on my channel. It may show up differently because you're a mod on my channel. Yeah.
Okay. I'm on most people's channels that we all know, so interesting.
Ed is like, tank radio.
Ed, man.
Right.
It's been a while, man.
Since Dayton. He was at Dayton this year again.
Yeah.
So, okay, for those of you who were not here in the beginning, this is my Amazon store. Amazon Prime Day starts on Tuesday. Boom. And I will be live streaming on Tuesday, so check the email list, hamradio2.com/email-sign-up, or my text messaging list, hamradio2.com/text me, all run together, text me. I will be live streaming about Prime Day on Tuesday, and probably again later in the week as well. But Prime Day is coming up in 2 days, so we'll be live on this channel again in about 2 days. Thank you for using the link that I just shared, because it does help to support the channel. It is an affiliate link. All right, so let's go back here and do the reset, because why not? Yeah, show it who's boss, I think Ed said. Let's see. Do the reset, blah, blah, blah. Okay, power it off. Okay, so we're not doing the Optima because we don't have the Optima right now. So power it off. Hold these two down. Power it back on. And it comes back up to the dual display. 144 and 7 megahertz. Boom. There it is. Okay, now if we go into the menu. Extension. Software version. Okay, that does look better. Display is 0102. Main 0105. That's different. DSP is 0102. That's different. SDR is 0104. And I think that's what matches here. Which one? Which screen was it that said what the actual versions were? Yes. Okay. Main 0104. Actually, that's later than that. Display is 0102. Yep. DSP 0102. Yep. SDR 0104. Yep. Okay. So all that's good. All that's good. There you go. Okay. So now we're successful. Now we're successful with the latest update. And there you go. And we're going to go there. And that's my display how I like to see it. Ooh. There we go. All right. So thank you, Don, for the tip. Yeah, we both read it wrong. But hey, you know what? That's why it's called amateur radio. So we're all good, man. All good. So, okay. So it'll be interesting to see. I want to take this thing out to POTA. Maybe sometime this week. I might go out to POTA this week. We'll see. I got a couple things going. And then, heck, I think I'm going to take this to our trip, Frank. I think I'm going to bring this with us on our trip. That way we can kind of tinker with it. I might even have Kyle do some CW on it just to tell me what he thinks about it and go from there. So, good deal. But yeah, got the Bluetooth installed, got the little dongle for the GPS here, which is, I think, might be troublesome. You're going to have to take that out. You're going to have to take that out and not leave it in so it doesn't break, and then take it out and put it somewhere so you don't lose it. So, but you only need that really, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say you only need that if you're going to do APRS, but that's not true. If you're going to do some FT8, then you need GPS also. You need time sync with FT8. So that might be a really good time sync thing for FT8. So we'll see. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move over to the other channel, and we're going to talk about this is my RV base camp chat. Looks like Cooley's already over there. And here is the link. Right there. We're going to talk about RV base camp. It's called RV base camp. We're going to talk about where to get water while on the road with your van or your RV. And we're going to move over there. So give me about 5 to 8 minutes to reset up everything. And then I will see you guys over there. Frank, any parting words?
Be safe out there. I know we talked a lot about helping out in disasters. If you're in the disaster area and you're safe and able to provide radio assistance to others, then great, go ahead and do that. But please don't self-deploy. If you want to help, it's too late for this disaster. Join one of these organizations so you be ready for the next one. That's all I really want to say. Yeah. I'm Frank, and I'm Frank, Tank Radio. Head over to Tank Radio to find more about me, and also I do have talking about my life events. I'm over on To Be Frank, and that's just talking about life, and that's 2 videos a week, and just goals and week stuff, and how I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's about it. And there's Tank Radio stuff over on Jason's site. So if you want to help support me, go buy some stuff. Or
GrapevineAmateurRadio.com. But yeah, my mystery box subscriptions just renewed a couple yesterday and the day before. So those are going to be going out later this week as well. So 73 guys, hope to see you on the live stream on Tuesday for Amazon Prime Day and on the RV Basecamp chat here in about 5 to 8 minutes. So 73.
Bye.
Later.